Hi, my name is Bryan Ausinheiler. I'm a physical therapist and personal trainer in Oakland, California. And today I'd like to talk to you about strength training for running. First, why do strength training if you're a runner? So there are two main reasons. First is to improve your running economy. That means that when you run, you will use fewer calories, less oxygen if you've done strength training. So there was a study that pooled together 5 different research studies with a total of 93 participants. And they found that consistently among runners who already had pretty good running economy, that they were able to improve their running economy significantly in a matter of 3 months of training 2 to 3 times a week with plyometric jumping exercises and heavy strength training exercises. So then what about injury prevention? Well, the research on running specifically for injury prevention hasn't been fleshed out that well yet. However, there have been some very large studies. One of the biggest actually was done in 2013 by Lauersen. They had 26,000 participants across a large number of studies in sports from basketball to soccer to field hockey, a lot of running related sports. And what they found is that exercise interventions, specifically strength training, plyometric training, and balance and coordination training, cut the overuse injuries by half. So this includes anterior knee pain, shin splints, Achilles tendinopathy, the types of things that runners often deal with. So strength training and plyometric and balance training have a good chance of reducing your running related injuries as well. Okay, so this is a balance exercise and motor control exercise for running. It's called a running simulator. And I'm going to demonstrate here on Justin. So you're going to plant your left foot on the ground, focusing on pressure through the base of the big toe here. 60% of the load should go through that part of your foot as you drive off during stance. You're going to bring the knee just in line over the second toe. The heel will be in the air for this. That engages your stabilizer muscles of your soleus and your tibialis posterior. So these are good, important muscles in the drive phase of running. Now move the right foot back, knee straight. This is your drive leg. Pour the weight into the left leg. Drive and then bring the right leg up. And then come back to the start and drive again. You want to get into a rhythm where it starts to be smooth and fast, getting closer and closer to the speed that you would actually run at. Okay, so I've got Justin here to demonstrate an exercise that one of my former patients named the Jackrabbit. It's kind of an awkward, silly looking exercise, but it's tremendously good training for your gluteal muscles. So why would you want to train your gluteal muscles? So your gluteal muscles include your glute med, glute min, and glute max. And during the running stride, they keep your hips level. So if your glutes are inactive or weak, your hips will drop down. That leads to a host of different injury risks, mainly anterior knee pain and back and hip pain. So these gluteal muscles have been shown in the research to be very important during running. However, a lot of exercises don't seem to transfer that strength in the exercise to running. So I developed this exercise to build a bridge between the running position and gluteal strengthening. So you're going to get yourself close to a smooth surface that is underneath your arm. So a wall could work, but it's really not ideal for this. You're going to stand with your feet together, close enough to your sliding surface that you can only get 2 fingers in between. Excellent, without any leaning of your trunk. This distance is very important, and you may need to calibrate as we go to make sure that you're not leaning at all. So now pour all the weight into your right leg, and then bring your left thigh out slightly away from you until the knee touches the side of the surface. Great. Fold at your hip and knee a little bit here until you're in the drive phase of a gait cycle. Let this knee bend here a little bit. Good. Keeping pressure on that big toe, no collapse. All right. So now, while you keep pressure against the sliding surface with your left knee, cycle through the gait cycle with your arms and left leg. Now gradually increase the speed until you get close to 90 strides per minute. Keep breathing. It's very important that your shoulders stay on top of your hips and don't lean away from the surface. As people fatigue, their shoulders will tend to drift over away from the surface and the hips will drift towards. This is the body's way of reducing the activation of this glute muscle because it's fatiguing. So cue yourself back into position so that the shoulders stay on top of the hips, or take a break. It's also very important that your knee stays aligned with your foot and that you don't collapse to the inside. Good, so keeping nice good pressure against that big toe to prevent the internal collapse. Now pick up the speed a little bit for me, Justin. One of the potential reasons that some glute exercises don't carry over to running is that they may be done too slowly. Okay, now we're going to demonstrate a plyometric strength training exercise called the Reciprocal Jumping lunge, also known as the scissor jump. So to do this exercise, we're going to start in a lunge stance with one foot forward. The forward leg is always going to be the primary working leg in this exercise, doing 80 to 90% of the work. It's important that that front leg is doing the work because if you're relying too much on the back leg, your knee is in a very compromised position. You can get knee pain from doing it incorrectly. So back leg is back with the knee just about an inch or two above the ground. You're going to drive firmly with that front leg, switching legs in the air and landing on the other leg. Exactly. Then keep switching. Good. Pushing firmly from the front leg, driving through the whole foot if you can. He's got a slight forward lean at the trunk, which is exactly what we want, and no collapse of the knee to the inside. Very good. And rest. So in conclusion, strength training improves running economy, making you a more efficient runner, while strength, balance, and plyometric training have all been shown to reduce overuse injuries in sport by half. Today I showed you 3 exercises, 1 balance and motor control exercise, 1 strength endurance exercise, and 1 plyometric strength exercise. In order to create a complete program, you need quite a few more exercises. You'll also need to do a consistent and thorough warm-up and perform the exercises 2 to 3 times a week for 2 to 3 months.